sins against all. Oh Lord my God, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory, forever and ever and ever. Amen. Amen. Hear my cry, O Lord, attend unto my prayers. From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee. When my heart is overwhelmed, lead me to the rock that is higher than high. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved the wretch. Oh,
Hello, hello, everybody. Good afternoon, welcome to SP Live Show here on Solap TV. This is your girl SP coming to you this afternoon here. Thank you for joining us. Those of you who are joining us from various walks of life, from all parts of the world. Your girl SP. I want to say hi and yeah, welcome you here today. As you can see, you're watching us live from Solap TV here. You can see us live on YouTube, Solap TV, on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter. You can also listen to us on iTunes, TuneIn. Yes. So your girl SP bringing you issues that concerns us, concerns the family, and concerns the community, because like I say, the family is under attack, and when the family is under attack, the community is under attack, and that means the society is under attack, and anything that affects our family affects the community at large. Today, on today's topic, we're going to be looking at so the topic is teaching your children life skills from early age. Teaching your children life skills from early age. You ask me why I chose this topic to be the topic of discussion today. Let's just go here and share Facebook. I need to find you on Facebook and share. Who's this? Let's close you up. Facebook. Trying to share on Facebook because at the moment, yeah, there you're now on Facebook. Okay, just making sure that was on Facebook, because then you'll be all right. Okay, that's there, and I'm going to share that so that you can all be seeing that, and that's it, shared, and here as well. Let's refresh you so that you can have the right current status there. Perhaps open it up a bit. There, better. Okay, so yes, and you ask me why I've chosen this topic today, teaching your children or your child life skills from an early age. Well, this topic to me is very, very important to tie in and to help the topic of the show, which is family and the importance of raising children with traditional values here in England, all over the world, in Africa, America, wherever you find yourself. It's not limited. It doesn't limit to any region at all. It involves everybody. So teaching your children life skills from an early age, or your child life skill from an early age. This came to me because having being a very hardworking person. Yeah, as you know, I'm very hardworking. Yes, being a very hardworking person and looking at what is happening now in our society, what is happening now, not just in England, because I always reference England because that's where I live, but referencing the whole world at large, what is happening now in the world. You find that a lot of people, a lot of children, even adults, to be honest, because you learn that as a child and then you move on to an adulthood. So a lot of people, including adults, these days don't find joy in work. A lot. They don't find, they don't think that hard work, life skills are very important. They just want a quick fix. You know, these days is a today kind of mentality. You know, laziness attitude. People have that mentality that click your finger and things will just happen for you. Click your finger and you just move the mountain. Click your finger and you just turn to a millionaire. Click your finger and you just turn to a celebrity. Click your finger and the whole world would be worshiping, you know, worshiping you, or the whole world will be at your beck and call. But it's not that way. It is not that way at all. So for me, it is that looking at that mentality and seeing the effect of that mentality in the society now, you know, seeing the effect of that these days on the children, on some adult, that is what brought me to the point of thinking, not thinking of bringing this to the forefront for discussion, for us all to look at it and see where we're going wrong, to see how we can rectify this this plague that is plaguing a lot of young people and some adults included, you know, to see how we can turn it around and, you know, hit the nail on the head and, you know, change things so that people can become productive, people can start to be productive, people can start to be more positive, people can become more can have more self-esteem, people can have more assurance or more interest in their own progress, as well as have joy in what they can produce and have joy in giving the world the skills, the talent that they've been blessed with. So this is the main issue. Let me just quickly refresh this because I can't see. Go back. Just give me 1 minute while I do this. Oh boy, just 1 minute. 1 minute. That is allergic reaction or somebody done some treatment. No, all right. I'll leave that alone for now. I'll come back to it. So, teaching your children or your child life skill from an early age is important, a very, very important issue, because, like we said, children are growing up with the idea that that life is very easy, that they can just do whatever they want, that they could just go along, not working hard and just get everything overnight. A lot of children are growing up with that mentality, and that is, you know, ruining a lot of lives. It's ruining a lot of families. It's ruining a lot of, in fact, the society is at disadvantage. Not just the individual, but everybody is at disadvantage because people are not being as productive as they could have become. They're not, you know, adding to the tapestry of the world. They're not adding their love, their skill. They're not adding their talent. They're not adding their joy of productivity, of fulfillment, of pure happiness that comes from, you know, knowing who you are, being what you can become, being at your peak and doing your very best. That joy is not there anymore. And I'll just probably have start with myself. You know, if I go back to when I was growing up as a child, a lot of the time I'll tell my children, you know, I always make reference to me. A lot of the time I'll tell my girls, look, none of you, you know, can do half of the things I did growing up in terms of hard work. You know, because when you tell them do this, do that, it's like, oh, it's a chore. It's a serious chore. It's like you don't love them or something like that. You know, and I'm not just talking about my kids. I see it in a lot of other children. when you ask children to do something, it's like like that you've taken something from them. And I always make reference to them and say, I teach you, I'm telling you to do things not because I can't do it, but because I want you to learn. Because for me, whatever I'm telling you to do, know that I can do it maybe 100 times faster than you can do it. In fact, before you can stand up, I've done whatever I've sent you to do. That's how hardworking I am. And that is because my parents taught me hard work. They taught me how to live. They taught me how to survive. They taught me these survival skills, these life skills from a very early age. And that wasn't just me. That was the norm then when I was growing up. Every child, children, you name it, they knew what life skills were. They knew, what to do, how to do it, and do it very well, to be honest. As a child, if you grew up in Nigeria, you probably identify with this. If you're not Ajebo, you could be Ajebo, but maybe your parents are those kind of parents that knew that hard work is very important for their children. So if your parent knew that they needed to teach you those life skills and so on and so forth, then of course they didn't say, oh, because you are an Ajebo child, you shouldn't get involved in work in the house or so on and so forth. So growing up, to be honest, I did a lot of housework. I did a lot of not just housework, outside housework. Growing up, I washed clothes with my hand. There was no washing machine, so I washed clothes with my hands, and that was clothes for the whole family. And we took turn doing that, all the kids in the house. I cooked. I remember my great grandma when I think I was maybe 5 years old or so. My great grandma actually bought pots for me, and whenever my mom was cooking, this was my dad's mom. Whenever my mother was cooking, my great grandma would give me a little portion of food, and I would be cooking beside my mom. The same thing my mom was doing, I would be cooking them. She was teaching me how to cook, because I had my own pot. Of course, those food weren't. It's not good to consume. It wasn't. So it was not safe for even fish to consume what I was cooking then, because yeah. But that was my learning time, my practice, if you want to put it that way. But the important thing is that she made the effort of teaching me how to cook that way. I don't know if I'm doing the same with my daughters. I am teaching them how to cook, but not that way. Yeah. So she made that effort of teaching me how to cook that way. I went to the farm. I did, okay, maybe these days people don't even like farming anymore, to be honest. But me, I know how to farm. I know how to dig. I know how to plant. I know how to weed. I know how to do anything that's involved farming. I know how to do it. And I knew how to do it because my grandma, they taught me how to do it. My father, my mother, they taught me how to do it. They took me with them when they were doing some work. I knew how to sell things because coming from school, I'd go to the restaurant and help my mother to sell. I know how to clean the house because I had my time to clean the house, my turn to clean the house. I could clean the house, I could mop, I could, sweep, I can do anything, you name it. There is no housework that I didn't know how to do. I know how to fetch water, carry water from my head, from Kafanchan to wherever, you name it. I did that. So I know how to go and get firewood. My parents didn't say, oh, because you're from the city or because you're from whatever and so on and so forth, that you didn't need to learn hard work. They made sure that I learned how to do my work. They made sure that my part of the work, my part of the house chores, that I did them. Not just do them, I did them well. And that included my grandparents. Whenever I was with my grandparents, they made sure that I knew the importance of work. I cook. And when I say cook, and we're cooking in those days, we're not just cooking for 1 or 2 people, because these days families are 1, 2, 3, 4, maximum sometimes, say 5 people. Okay. If you're very lucky, you get 10 people in a home these days. But then in my home, whether my father's house or my grandparents' house, in any of the house, you would have nothing less than 30 people at any one given time. And that is, so cooking, you're not just cooking for 1 or 2 people or 10 people, you're cooking for battalion. And you cook for those people, but you also cook for anybody who's going to be passing by, because you never know who's going to be passing your home that day. So you cook including even uncounted people. So we cooked for a lot of people, and that we took turn doing that. And I would cook, when I got to the age of cooking. I would go to the market and shop and so on and so forth. And that did not stop me from my education, and those days parents didn't even tell you do your schoolwork, do your homework. You did it because you wanted to be first in class. You didn't want to come second, third, or first. You didn't want to come last. You wanted to come first. Everybody was in that frame of mind. Everybody wanted to be the first in their class. So we all studied and studied, because you didn't want to not just not pass. You didn't want the next class to catch up to you. So you did that, and you did sports. You did everything. So you had all these life skills that you're learning, plus your education, plus activity, extracurricular activity like doing sports or getting involved in dance or learning musical instrument. Unfortunately, I tried to play guitar growing up. I couldn't learn it, but I did other things because I was involved in so many other things. So maybe that's why my mind couldn't concentrate in learning how to play guitar. But what I'm trying to say is that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. And I think we've all heard this quote so many times, this proverb so many times. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. And that is happening right now as we speak. In our society, in our homes, in our communities, we are breeding children who thinks that life is just that life owes them something, that their parent owes them something, that society owes them something. We are breeding children that thinks that they can just flip their finger and the world will make magic and they will just get whatever they want when they want it. And that is not the truth. And because that is not the truth, a lot of them, they get disappointed. And this disappointment leads to so many problems. People are having mental breakdown, people are having depression, people are committing suicide, people are running away from home. There is just so many things that is happening because of this laziness attitude, this attitude of not wanting to be productive, this attitude of not putting in hard work. Let's use somebody, for example. Let's use an artist, for example, Beyonce. Beyonce is very famous. She's very rich. She's very vivacious, beautiful. She's sold millions and millions of records. She's known all over the world. And I bet you a lot of young girls these days want to be like Beyonce overnight. They want to be like her. They want to emulate her. They want to be Beyonce overnight. However, majority of those people who see her and see what she's achieved and see where she is and what she's enjoying, they haven't seen the hard work that she put in before she got to where she is at. They haven't, stopped to think how much hours she has practiced. This girl probably put in not less than 9-hour practice every day for the last 30 years, practicing to be a singer, to be a dancer, to be a performer, to be the best in her act. She has put not less than 9 hours every day doing that. Hence, she's benefiting from her hard work. She's benefiting. And then all of a sudden, somebody thinks that, overnight I can become that. It's not possible, is it? And what happens when she doesn't become that after not putting in the work? Depression sets in. Suicidal ideation sets in. It could lead to addiction. It could lead to anything. And ultimately perhaps death or ending up in mental hospital. So the idea that it is very important that we teach our children life skills from very early age, the idea that we have to show them that hard work pays, the idea that we have to teach them that that there is joy in hard work, that there is joy in becoming your true self is very important. We can't be other people. We can't imitate other people. Listen here. I am Patricia. Patricia is Patricia. There is no two Patricia in the world, right? It's just me. Of course, there are a lot of people with the same name. People tell me, oh my goodness, I saw somebody who looked like you there. Was it you? I saw you there. It's like, it's not me. It's me. There's only one me. Yeah. So anybody who tries to be me cannot be me because they don't know how I live my life. They don't know what I'm doing. They don't. You might see me like this, but you don't know how much work that goes into being me. The same way you don't know how much work that goes into being Beyonce. The same way you don't know how much work that goes into being anybody who's, I'm not saying I'm successful. I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. So I'm always use myself as an example, as a work in progress. But the important thing here is that you have children. As an adult, whether you're a parent or a guardian, whichever one you are, wherever you find yourself, the children under your care need to be guided. That's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what we are all supposed to be doing. That is our God-given responsibility, to guide, to teach, to train, to direct these children so that they can become positive, happy, productive, fulfilled adults. So that they will be very happy and society will be very happy. They will live a beautiful life and society will have beautiful people in it. Teaching them life skills starting from when a child is very young. I'm telling you, from the very, very early age. We're not saying that our children should turn to slave at home, that kind of a thing, because a lot of people say, oh, you're overworking them or whatever. But starting from a very early age in the home, children should be made to do the housework that they're supposed to be doing. You have a house, you have a home, you have everything, and you put maids all over the place, and then you don't let your children do anything, and the maids are doing all the work. But let me tell you something. You think you're punishing the maids or whatever and doing your children a favor? You're not. To be honest, you're not actually doing your children a favor by not teaching them to do things and let the maids or whatever do everything for them. You need to, as well as giving them their education, which is one of the most important life skill you're going to give your children, which is education. And I feel sorry for, let's just take a moment to think about those people who are not in a position to get any education right now. Because to be honest, there are many millions, maybe billions of children who are, at disadvantage, who cannot get no education right now. So we put our thoughts goes to them, and hopefully something will give, because that's what where the world is heading to. Make sure that everybody in the world is included in this globalization and and helped out. Yeah, going back to our program, making sure that one, you educate your children. Education, knowledge is power. The education of going to school is one education, but there is home education, home economics, home training also that goes with it, which is where they learn the life skills from a very early age. Say when children are, as soon as they can walk, to be honest, as soon as children can walk, if they drop some rubbish on the floor, tell them to pick it up and show them the bin. Let them go and put it in the bin. Start from there. You start from there to direct, to guide, to mold, to show them the importance of working, the importance of doing things rightly. There are so many skills, so many life skills that children can learn at home. So many ways you can encourage your children to become productive, to become self-reliant. Yeah, self-reliant, self-sufficient, to build their self-esteem, to build their courage, to build their love for themselves and their love for the environment and for the world, to love, to want to contribute positively to the world. And there are so many ways we can do that, and that starts from the home. Because to be honest, what we teach our children at home, that is what they're going to do when they're out there as they're growing. That is what gives them their foundation. A child without a foundation is very weak. A child with a foundation, and that foundation is instilled in the home. A child with that foundation that is instilled in the home is a powerful child in the society. And there are so many things we can do. Teach your children to wash their own plates. Teach them to pick up after themselves, to make their own bed from the very early age. Teach them to clean their shoes. Teach them to pick up after themselves. Teach them to clean the bathroom. What else? Anything. Teach them to cook. Yes? Teach them to do any chores. In fact, teach them to wash clothes with their hands sometimes. You know, I know there is washing machine and things like that, but what happens if the washing machine breaks down? Yeah. What happens if the cooker is not working? What happens if a fridge is broken down? Teach them to do certain things that actually, because some of this work brings joy, you know, it brings joy. And funny, very, very funny. You know why I laughed? Because it just brought me back to last week when I was, my daughter was washing bitter leaf. All of you know about bitter leaf. Well, not all of you, some of you who are Nigerians know about bitter leaf, you know. Many of you probably don't know how to wash bitter leaf. Yeah? Am I right? I'm sure I'm right. And some of you do. And this is something that we're doing here in London. Naturally, something that you do in Africa. And a lot of us here in London, we buy them from the freezer because they've been washed in Nigeria and brought here. Or we buy them dried because they've been washed, dried, and brought here. But me, I don't like them ones. I like the real thing, the fresh one. So I always go and buy the fresh one. And I always encourage the children to wash them. And funny enough, I made Holly wash them the other day. That's my oldest daughter, and she was washing them, and you can see how many positions she changed before finishing the bitter leaf. But the thing is that the joy, you know, after washing that, the hard work that go into that, when she eats it, when that has been used to cook, you can say, see, this is your hard work, and she will enjoy the food, you know, and she can pass on that knowledge to her own children, and so on and so forth. That's hard work. One, she's washing bitter leaf. Two, she's building her arm muscle. That's two exercise in one. Two things in one, killing two birds with one stone, something like that, you know. So as much as she's doing that chore, she's also doing exercise, you know, and that is life skill. Yeah, that's just one thing. There are many other life skills that children can do: mowing the lawn and so on and so forth, washing the cars. There is just so many things, to be honest. And other life skills like extracurricular activities, you can send your children to after school clubs, you know, where they can learn dance, learn musical instruments, learn how to sing, learn. There's just education. There's just so many things, you know, rock climbing and so on and so forth. There is so many things that we need to teach our children, but we teach them, we must, because life skills is very important. We want to teach them those things because we want them to feel confident in themselves. We want them to be able to go out there and compete with the world. We want them to have the mentality that hard work pays. We want them to have the mentality that your hard work can take you far. However, if you want to cheat your way through it, it's not going to work. It's not going to work because it's not your work, right? Am I right? I'm sure you believe me. I'm sure you all know that I'm right. You know, and on that note, let me just take 1 minute and say hello to everybody who's joined us so far. One more time, listen, you're watching us here on Celeb TV, on Facebook Live. You're also watching us on YouTube and listening, tuning. You can follow us on TuneIn. Yeah, listen there and follow us live. Let me just quickly say hello to some of you who's joined us right now. Hi, Antoinette. Hi, Letty. Valentine's. Hi, Priya. Yes, Simon. Hi, there's a name there that I can't pronounce. That name looks, I think it's Russian or something, but thank you for joining us. You know, hi, James. James, are you at work? Oh, no, James is not at work. I think you're on break today. Are you? Are you on break? You perhaps on break. Half time? I think so. Hi, Abba. Hi, Jamil. Hi, Forma. Hi, Eyes. Ken. Hi, Ken. Hi, Mohammed. Hi, Gulachara. Something like that. Hi, Aziz. Chukudi, Prince, Edgar, Thomas, Liz, Oscar. Hi, another Russian name which I can't pronounce. Hi, beautiful daughter, my holy. Hi, Jen, Francis. Hi, everybody. Okay, sound quality is not very good. Holy said sound quality is not very good. Hello from West Africa, Senegal. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Let me see. There's some comment here. Oh, thank you so much, Edgar. Jackson said, Patricia, my parents taught me everything. Also, my mistake was not listening. I'm still learning from them. Stay blessed. Oh, thank you so much. Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of parents do teach, and some children don't want to learn. Yes, I'm not saying you're not a good child. You are a very good child because you're learning and you acknowledge that they taught you. That is very important that you're acknowledging that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, and thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. Um, yes, let's see another comment here. Okay. There. Uh-huh. What happened? Are we still on air? Producer. Are we still on air? Yes, we're still on air. Yes, that's Edgar there. I just okay. So back to you guys. I just took a minute to say hello to everybody who's joined us so far. I want to thank you very much for joining us on today's show. Like you know, there is no me without you, and I appreciate all you tuning in to watch us. I appreciate you all very, very much. I thank you all very much, and keep tuning in, keep watching, keep liking, and if you like, share. If you like what we're doing, what we're saying, if you like the discussions, do share. If you feel that it's gonna touch anybody, it's gonna help anybody, do share. Maybe a parent, maybe a child, maybe a friend. Do share with them as well. We do appreciate you all. Thank you very much. We appreciate all the comments, and we appreciate um, those of you who haven't commented. If you have anything to say, please do comment because this is for all of us. That's how we all learn. Like Edgar said, he was taught, but he didn't listen, but he's learning. And we appreciate that honesty 100%. And I know that a lot of you may identify with that. There are some of us who has been taught but didn't learn, and there are some of us who weren't taught and even teaching ourselves. To be honest, there are parents who don't teach their children life skills, and that is why this is happening. We want parents to teach their children life skills. And if you're a child and perhaps you're bringing up your siblings, then it falls on you also to make sure that you're teaching your siblings the life skills that they need. You don't do everything for them. And coming from the professional side, I'm saying this because I see in the society and also coming to me people who are giving up in life, people who have given up totally because they can't do it anymore. They can't do it anymore, and you ask them, what is it you can't do anymore? What has brought you to this point? Oh, I can't take this, or I can't take that. Oh, this is too difficult, that is too difficult. Education, they see, is too difficult. Washing plate, they see, is too difficult. Going out to shop, they see, is too difficult. Going out to learn for a lesson, they see, is too difficult. Learning an instrument is too difficult. Whatever you put before them, they say is too difficult. And they see this as their parents being monsters. That parents don't love them, that parents don't like them. They just want everything to be done for them. That is not normal. It's not normal. Human beings are not meant to be that way. Human beings are meant to have life skills. Human beings are meant to have, what you call, we're supposed to be, if I say self-sufficient, it might be a bit too harsh, but we're not self-sufficient because we need each other and so on and so forth. But I think it's what we call self-reliance. We're supposed to have those skills that can help us to be able to rely in our own skills, in our own selves, regardless of where we find ourselves, regardless of who we are. We're supposed to have those skills that makes us self-reliant. And that's what I'm trying to say here, that everybody needs to be self-reliant, regardless of who you are, regardless of where you find yourself. Self-reliant. And that is where these life skills are important. That's where the life skills come in. Education, 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 education. Right? Yeah, very important, because in this day and age, everybody is educated. However, Education is not knowledge. You can be educated to, but it's not wisdom. You can be educated from here to the heavens, but to be honest, yeah, you know what I mean, right? So we want education, at the same time we want life skills, yeah, things that makes us self-sufficient, things that helps us, that, for example, if you find yourself stranded in an island, God forbid, if you were traveling and you got stranded in an island, in a desert or something, would you be able to survive with whatever you found around you? Would you be able to survive? Would you be able to survive until rescue comes? Think about that. So when you're bringing your children up, I'm not saying that there's going to be those kind of calamities or those kind of disasters or anything, but I'm saying that you need to be prepared as a child, and not just prepare, but you also need to be prepared that so that you are happy wherever you find yourself. You are happy in whatever situation or condition. You can survive. When I say happiness, it means you can survive. It means you're not just waiting for a hand me out, a hand me down, or you're not just waiting for, you know, a miracle that's going to change your life and turn it all around like in a fantasy world. This is real life. This is not fantasy, right? We're not in fantasy world. We are in real life, real time. Yes. So life skills are very important for that. And do you know what life skills does? Teaching children life skills is the same as teaching them, is the same as building their self-esteem. It's the same as building their self-esteem. The more life skills they put into their let's say they have a cup. Everybody has a life cup, yeah? And that cup, whatever you learn, whatever knowledge you get, whatever information, whatever skills you learn, it goes into that cup. And that cup is part of your confidence. That cup is your what is it? That's your reserve. That is your foundation. That's your base. So whatever you get, you put it in there. Whatever you learn, you put it in there. The more you learn, the more you build. The more you learn, the more you build. The more you build, the more stronger you get. The more self-confident, the more you become into yourself. The more upright, the more happy, the more reliable you are to yourself and to your family and to society. The more productive you are. And as you build and as you grow, as you get, older, you find yourself totally in a place where you are now this fully grown person, this fully grown individual who is happy with themselves, who is confident in them, in their own skills, in their own selves, in what you do, and so on and so forth, who is able to go out there and conquer the world without fear. Am I making any sense? I should hope so. I should hope that I'm making a lot of sense, because to be honest, I am who I am today because my mom, my dad, my siblings, my older brother. Let me tell you something. I remember when I was growing up, my elder brother, I used to cook. Like I said, my grandma bought me a pot and I was cooking, and it came to a point where I started cooking with the big pot. And I would cook, and my brother would taste it and say, "Your food is not good." I laugh at it because it's so funny. It wasn't funny then because I got angry. I do get angry then, to be honest. I would cook and I put a lot of salt in the food. And my brother would say, "Your food, only you eat that food because nobody else will eat the food that has so much salt." But the thing is, we were working together. There was a partnership in the home. He taught me how to cook. As much as my grandma, my grandpa, my mom and dad, even my dad can cook. My dad cooks better than a woman, My brother taught me how to cook. He said, "You don't put this much salt, you don't put this much pepper, whatever. He taught me. Even cleaning the house, if I didn't do something right, he showed me how to do it right. And he was a boy, a big boy, a very, very big boy, a grandiose boy, that, macho man. But he didn't shy away from that housework because he knew how to do it. And he taught his little sister how to do it. you know. So everybody chipped in teaching me, and I taught the ones following me as well, you know. And this is how a home is supposed to be. And because of that, I can proudly say that there is no hard work, there is no work that I cannot undertake. Anybody can challenge me on that, and I would win on that. I can take on any work and do it comfortably, you know, because I was taught, because I was guided, and I made sure the ones following me did the same. I didn't have to carry all their burdens, or although when they were younger, I did that because they weren't able to. But I made sure that everybody did work according to their level and their size, and so on and so forth. And that brings me down to us teaching our children, you know, these life skills that is going to build their confidence, that is going to help them to enjoy their own hard work. Do you want your child to be successful? Do you want your child to emulate you in hard work? Do you want your child to bring you glory? Because I think every parents want their child to bring them glory. Every parent enjoys when their child is being, you know, commended for hard work, for, you know, successful, whatever they've done successfully. If you want that, then of course you need to be that, you know, that wisdom. You need to be that guiding voice. You need to be that guiding light to them, to teach them from the very early age, so that they can, you know, become this fully grown, positive, hardworking individual that you want them to be. If you see any good future, if you see bright future for them. Because for me, it all boils down that society, everybody in society needs to chip in. Everybody in society needs to be productive. Everybody in society needs to be self-reliant. Because if we are all self-reliant, if we all have these skills, to be honest, there will be less crime in our society. There will be less crime. Look at the rate of crime these days. Even in broad daylight, people are going out to rob. Do you know why they're doing that? Of course, you could say let's just take our London, for example. You know, there are people robbing people in broad daylight, perhaps because they're addicted to drugs and trying to fuel their bad habits. Perhaps they're robbing because they don't have work and they don't have money. Perhaps they're robbing because they like robbing, or they just want to survive. But it all boils down to the beginning. It all boils down to when these people were being nurtured. Of course, people can derail. We know that. We know that the devil is out there and is working overtime. They can derail. But there is nothing wrong with trying to inoculate these good skills in them, so that it can lead them, it can help them, guide them in their adulthood. Because even if somebody wants to go in the wrong direction, if somebody want to turn out bad, perhaps those things that you inoculated, you give them as their foundation, and that cup of confidence will bring them back to the right path. It will bring them back. Look at our society. People go out robbing people in broad daylight. People go out doing all kinds of crimes, all kinds of dirty things, just to be what they're not, or just to maintain a habit, or so on and so forth. So not having these skills, to be honest, creates a lot of problem for society. It creates a lot of problems for society. We might say, oh, we're being taught and there's not enough places to go to learn life skills, to learn extracurricular activities, whatever, and so on and so forth. There's so many excuses we can give. There's so many excuses. But at the same time, we need to stop making excuses, and we need to go back to the drawing table. And the drawing table is our home. Yes, we need to go back into our homes and start to do the right things, and start to do the right things by our children. We need to start to do the right things by bringing them up in the right way, by chastising children when they're wrong, by teaching them to do the right thing. And if they don't do it right, make sure they do it. They do it so many times until they get it right. And that is not being cruel. You are just giving them the skills that they need. You are just teaching them to be self-reliant. On that note, let me just take a minute to look here, just to remind you that you can watch us on on YouTube. We're here on Celeb TV. Watch us on YouTube. Follow us live on Facebook. You can also listen to us on TuneIn. Follow us on Twitter. And if you want to call in, because our show is a show to call in. People can call in. People can text in. People can make comments, and we discuss. It's it's for all of us, because we are all learning. I've always said it, I've said it so many times, but I'll still say it. Parenthood doesn't come with a handbook. We all learn as we go along. And this is where we learn. We, share our experiences with each other, encourage each other, and move society along. And if you want to call in, the number is on the screen, is on your screen. +447 399 343 199, and the other number is +447 440 721 474. And also, my private number, if you want to message me after this, or message WhatsApp, this you can call on WhatsApp on this. My private number, which is +447 390 200 4676. So, coming back to you on our topic, teaching your children life skills from an early age. Teaching your children life skill from an early age. Yeah. Can you see Twitter, Instagram? You can message. There's just so many places you can. My private Twitter and Instagram is on the screen right now. If you want to message, if you want to follow us, that would be good. In fact, follow us, please follow us. Follow us on Twitter, follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and let's work together and let's help each other. Let's move our society along together so that we can have a beautiful, happy, productive society, and productive people, productive children. Because, like I said, children are the future. Anything that attacks the children attacks the future. Anything that attacks the home attacks the future. And if they're under attack, then our future is in jeopardy. So the idea here is that we all work together to help our children grow up as positive, happy individuals, positive, contributing individual to the society. Positive. When I mean positive, I mean confident individuals. I mean people who are who love themselves, who believe in themselves, who are ready to face the world because they have worked hard, because they've done the hard work that it takes to face and to conquer their fears, to conquer whatever they choose to succeed in whatever field they found themselves in. And hence, I think that it starts from the home. So we need to teach our children life skills right from home. Life skills. There are so many life skills. And, some of you, if you please do contribute. Please do tell us some of the things that perhaps your parents made you learn. Maybe you were learning a musical instrument. Did you complete it? Did you learn it? I know some people who can play 1 or 2, in fact 3 musical instruments because they like that. I know people maybe they learned how to dance or something, and they can teach dance, or learn languages, different languages. Perhaps that's you. Or maybe you learn how to cook, you learn how to clean the house, you learn different things, house chores. Maybe you're a guy who learned so many things from your parents, even your maid, because some people, their maid will teach them a lot of things. But the problem these days, to be honest, especially in this part of the world, in England, the problem is that a lot of parents are working, and they don't have time to teach their children what their children should be learning. Children are left to their own devices. Am I hitting the nail on the head? Children are left to their own devices. We are not giving enough time to our children to teach them the things that they need to learn to help them build the confidence they need to face the world. We all know that the world is a big place. The world is global. The world is like an ocean. And let me tell you, as an ocean, if you take a child who doesn't know how to swim and drop them in an ocean, or just swimming pool, your ocean is too big. If you take a child that doesn't know how to swim and drop them in a swimming pool, what do you think is going to happen to the child? Take yourself, for example. You are the child, and you are dropped into a swimming pool, and you don't know how to swim. What is going to happen to you? Now, if you think about it, you as an adult being dropped into a swimming pool and you don't know how to swim, you're going to drown. If you don't drown, you're going to harm yourself. In fact, you'll probably be at the brink of drowning before you're rescued. Yeah, or before you manage to, perhaps if you manage to learn to swim to an anchor and hold yourself up. I mean, think about a child who couldn't do that. What is going to happen to that child? So many things, so many challenges that is in that swimming pool for that child. Those challenges is what you need to prepare this child for. You want to prepare the child to save them from drowning, because what you're doing is bringing a child up, dropping them in an ocean, which is the world, and telling them swim for yourself. How do you expect them to survive if you haven't equipped them with the skills that they need to survive the ocean, to survive this ferocious world? How do you expect them to survive? Like I said, education is very important. The education is very important, going to school. But the other life skills is also very important, because they are the maneuvering skills that they need to anchor, to support the education that they got, the physical education or the mental education or the school education that they got. If you haven't prepared them for that, how do you expect them to survive? Ask yourself that question. Are you setting your children up for failure? Are you setting them up to fail? Or are you setting them up to be the best they can be? Who don't want to be the best they can be? I don't think there's any child in this world that doesn't want to be the best they can be. But children are children. They're children for a reason. They're children because they need to be guided. They're children because they need to be supported. They need to be groomed. They need to be nurtured. They need to be trained. They need to be skilled. And who does that? That starts from the home. You, the parent, the guardian, you are that person who is going to bring all this to pass. What happens if you don't, if you're not actually fulfilling your responsibility? What's going to happen to the child? What about those of you who are adults right now, who are struggling wherever you find yourself, because perhaps you were being told and you never listened? You never listened. You never bothered to, pay attention to the guiding voice that was meant to be in your life. Where do you find yourself right now? Can you contribute? Is there anything you want to say to us? How difficult is it to start to learn life skill as an adult? I remember there's a proverb. Is it a proverb? No, or it's an idiom, an Igbo idiom that says "Mbe Adam wake benanka." Igbo people will understand this. I don't know how to say it in English. Pardon me, but it says "Mbe Adam wake benanka." I think what it is like, the Bible says teach, or the other way, it says learn wisdom in your youth. Better yet, from your youth, I think you need to learn that wisdom from the early age, because if you start learning it from the early age, then of course it extends to your youth, right? And who better to teach them than you? Who's their guardian? Who's their parent? Who's their sibling? Who is the family? Who's better to teach this than the family? It only makes sense that, as parents, as guardians, that we know what is best for the people that we've been, designed to be looking after. Because this is the grand design of things. That's the way the world is designed. Everybody has his own world, isn't it? Everybody has his own time. Everybody has his own role. And as a parent, as a guardian, your role is to mold, to guide, to support, to project, to protect, to skill the children. Are you doing that? Are you fulfilling that responsibility? Are you honestly 100% fulfilling that responsibility? We know that this day and age, children are very stubborn. Yes, kids are very stubborn. In fact, before you say 1, they say 10. But would that stop you from still doing your duty as an adult, as a guardian? Would you say you're not going to take the responsibility anymore because they don't want to listen or they're not listening? Would you say, no, I don't want to, in fact, I'm not doing it? Are you going to quit? Will you quit? then what is it? What example are you setting if you quit? What example are you setting? I'm not going to quit. I keep on, I keep on, I keep on at it. In fact, I keep on keeping on. Even when I'm annoying, I keep on keeping on. Because for me, it's seeing the future, it's looking at the future, it's thinking about when these children grow up and they leave my comfort, they leave this comfort of the comfort that I've provided. How are they going to be able to survive on their own? Will they be able to do it? And that is the conscience that holds my, what I do. Will they be able to be who they're supposed to be? Are they going to be able to fulfill their destiny? Are they going to be able to come and, how do I put it? I say it as a positive thing, to be honest. Are they going to be able to contribute, positively? Are they going to be able to bring joy to the world with their skills, with their talent? Are they going to be able to, be happy adults living a fulfilled, happy life? And that is what, what pushes me and many other parents who are doing the same, who are trying their very best to inoculate our young ones with life skills. Are you punishing them? I say no. Are you turning them into little slaves? I say no. Are you trying to build them up? I say yes. You're trying to build them up. You're trying to make them strong individuals. You're trying to make them, active, positive individuals with active minds. If we go back again to idle minds is the devil's workshop. We're not saying that children shouldn't study. Study is very important, but they have to learn other skills along with their studies. And I'm very, very sure that my beautiful girls at home right now, I don't know if they're watching, but if they watch, they would attest to the fact that I don't, relent on me trying to teach them things. I don't relent on that. Even schools, they go to school and they still go to Saturday schools, they still get private lessons at home and so on and so forth, trying to learn instruments, trying to learn house chores and so on and so forth. Even though there is washing machine in the house, they have to wash clothes with hand every now and then. There's just so many things that we need to teach our children, because to be honest, going back to what is happening in society now, going back to the idleness that I find, and this mentality of I want it now, I want it today, I want it this minute, and not working for it, it is scary, it's frightening. I don't know if you've noticed it, but I notice it. I see a lot of people who haven't worked for something and they think that they can just come and take it, something that they haven't worked for, or that they just want to become something overnight and they haven't worked for it. I see that a lot. And what happens? They end up in hospital, a lot of them, or end up dead somewhere, or end up in the wrong hand. Look, a lot of children that get into gangs for some reason, because maybe they want money that they shouldn't be even looking at, or money they shouldn't be spending. They want something that they shouldn't be looking at, and they get involved in a gang. Maybe because they're promising them, oh, you do this, you get that, do this, you get that, and a quick fix. And for that, they get into the wrong gang. The same goes to young boys, young girls, and so on and so forth. I see it. There is this lack of I don't care now, and I want it now. I was discussing with Holly and Holly, my baby girl, and something came to mind. I think there was a guy, who was very, very rich, very, 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 very rich. And what happened? And when he was dying, he actually didn't leave his property to his children, but before then, he did speak to the lawyer, and they were asking, why don't you leave your properties and so on and so forth to your children? And he bequeathed those things to orphanage and so on and so forth. Why didn't you do that? And his excuse, well, not his excuse, he said he didn't do that because he's given his children the best skill, the best life skills ever, and that was their education and what they got from home, you know. And he wants his children to go out there and do better than him. He wants them to go out there and make a name for themselves. He wants them to go out there and create their own legacy. He didn't want to chain them. He didn't want to tie them down by just leaving them all this wealth, because he knew that all he was going to do was for them to just sit down and lavish the wealth and not appreciate the hard work that went into it. He didn't want that to happen. So for that, he is bequeathing his wealth to orphanage. I said to Holly, if I did that, you know, what would happen? Well, not that I have wealth to bequeath. As you see me, this is me. You know, I have my skills and my knowledge and things like that to bequeath to my children, and that's what I'm doing. You know, but what would happen if you were a child or you are a parent that did that? If you are a child that was denied all those riches, are you in a position to go out there and fend for yourself? Would you be comfortably able to be self-reliant, self-sufficient, to go out there and create your own legacy and create your own wealth and, you know, contribute to the world and make a happy life? Or would you resent your parent? You know, and I think one day I will try and get the answer to that question, you know, looking at where those children are and where they're going, to see if the effect of what their father did is a hindrance or is good for them. But going back to what I was saying, is I'm saying that as parents, it falls on us that we don't readily give our children everything that they want. Because to be honest, some of the things that children want are not for their own good. We have to actually start to teach them how to fend for themselves, because that's what the world, if you don't teach them, the world will teach them, right? If we don't teach them how to fend for themselves, if we don't teach them the right way to fend for themselves, the world is going to teach them, and perhaps teach them the wrong way. And who's to be blamed? Who's going to be blamed for that? It is us parents. And the best way to teach them how to fend for themselves is those things that you're going to be teach them from home, at home. Those things they learn from you, from your own very example. Your example matters a lot. Are you a hard-working parent? Let the children see it. Are you a hard studying? Are you a hard... What is it? What do you do? How do you let your children experience what you do? Or you just there, your children are just there and you're just doing everything for them? What's going to become of them? Let's take a minute and think about that while I say hello to there's a few who's joined us. Let's see who's joined us. I'd say hello. Let me see. Alexandra, hi. Temi Tokbe, hi. Mary, hi Mary. Hi Emmanuel, hi Chanel, hi Breville, hi Breville, hi Evelyn, hi Amy, hi Van Chuma, hi Ernest, Chinyer, hi Emmanuel. Hi Michael, hi everybody, hi for joining us. I appreciate you all joining us. Like I said, without you there is no us, and it's we appreciate a lot that you join us. If you like what we're doing, do share, do like, send us some love. I'd like to receive some love from you. Press the love heart or the like, press the like. Send us some like, some love, and do share what we're discussing. If you feel that other people would want to know, would want to listen to what we're saying, it might benefit them as well, do share. And also we're here on you can contribute, you can call in, and the number is right there on your screen. The number to call in is +44 7399 343 199, and the other number as well is +447440721 and you also know my private number, which is 739-200-4676, and you can also listen on TuneIn. You can follow us on YouTube, follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. We would like to really hear from you. Like I said, the topic, for those of you perhaps who didn't catch the topic because you just joined now, the topic today is teaching your children life skills from early age. So, you know, we're discussing the importance of teaching your children life skills from an early age, looking at what is happening in society now, looking at the fact that a lot of a younger generation, some adults included, younger generation thinks that it is okay to just wake up overnight and just, you know, get anything. You know, flick your finger, make magic, and you become something different. Become what you didn't work for, become what you didn't struggle for, and so on and so forth. Or in Nigeria, that's what they're doing in Nigeria these days. People are doing rituals to turn rich overnight. Yes, rituals to turn ritual. Using human being to do ritual because they think that they do that, that's going to make them a millionaire, make them very, very rich. This is craziness. Yeah, craziness, madness of King George, I tell you. How can you think that, you know, killing another human being, using their organs or whatever is going to make you, using them for ritual is going to make you rich overnight? The sadness. The world is going crazy. Over there, they're that crazy in Nigeria doing those kind of things. Over here, people are crazy, going mad because they turn into depression because the mentality that they have, what they've thought, they thought that maybe, oh, overnight, if I don't work hard, if I don't study, if I don't do anything, if I'm just all that and follow all this uselessness, and then overnight I can become this, I can become that, I can do that, and when it does not work the way they think it should have worked, what happens? They go into depression. Some of them end up mad and end up in mental hospital, and some of them end up killing themselves because they can't face the reality that they've done this to themselves. But I say, of course they've done it to themselves, but in a way, it's not just them to be blamed. It's also the adult that was bringing these people up. It was the adult behind them. That is, because the adult is the anchor, right? That was your safety place. Your adult, you the parents, you were their safe place. You were supposed to be the guiding voice, the guiding angel. You were supposed to be the one that brought them up. You were supposed to be the one that inoculated all the skills. You were supposed to be the one that guided these children to bring them to where they were successful in life. However, we didn't do that, right? We did not do that. And when we don't do that, what happens? We cannot blame the children, of course, a little bit, for not listening, for being stubborn. But that's what children are supposed to be. They're supposed to be somewhat stubborn. They're supposed to be somewhat rebellious, right? Because if they, yes, 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 you say they're computer, right? Controlled. We want children who could also be a little bit rebellious, but at the same time a little bit obedient. You know, you need to take one with the other, pinch together, and make the whole individual. Because that rebelliousness a little bit gives them the confidence to go out there and be what they're supposed to be, to be honest. But in their rebellious nature, you were supposed to be the calm mind, an adult who helped them to get what they're supposed to get and be who they're supposed to become in life. But we're getting a society where laziness attitude is rife. You know, the mentality, the mind, the mind is so idle, there's nothing up there, you know. There is nothing at all up there. And I don't think that's what we're meant to be. I don't think that's where our society is supposed to be headed. You know, if we don't reverse this what is it called? This trend. If we don't start reversing this trend, then it's going to become a big problem. Because I'm seeing it a lot from my professional aspect, as well as, you know, normal individual, normal citizen who's seeing what is happening in society. We're seeing it a lot. We're seeing all these children that are hanging on the street corner doing nothing during school time. We're seeing them, a lot of children that are being so rowdy, so disobedient, so not listening to their parents, that they've been, expelled from school because, one, they don't listen at home, two, they don't listen at school. What is it? What is it? What is the problem? What is it? Why are we parents not able to, control and guide our children from early age? Because it all boils down to how we start, molding them from when they start. In fact, from the very time, moms and dads, please, hello, guidance, hello. From the very early age, a child needs to be nurtured in the right way. And don't tell me that it's just the society that is affecting their behavior. Because what is society? Society is the home. Everything that is in the home emits to the society. I'm not wrong about that. If I'm wrong about that, please do tell me. Is any of you out there experiencing what I'm talking about right now? Any of you perhaps have a child that is, has that mentality, that doesn't want to work hard, they don't want to go to school, they don't want to do any house chores, they don't want to get involved in any extracurricular activity, they don't want to do anything, they perhaps just stuck in their own selves and just wanting to, thinking that the world is just going to flip around and they just become whatever they want. If any of you are you experiencing that? Are you at loggerheads with your children right now? Or are you a child who is actually giving your parents the problem? And when I mean a child, I know that children are not meant to be watching Facebook, but at least from 18 years old, you are there and you are watching Facebook. So if you are the child who's giving your parents that kind of tough time, or who gave your parents that tough time, then we'd like to hear from you. Have you changed? Are you learning? Are you changing? Are you finding life difficult? Are you finding anything difficult? What is it? How are you trying to live in this big world without having learned those skills that you're meant to be learning? What is happening? What is happening? All right, let's just take 1 minute and say hello to everybody one more time. Hi guys, this is your girl SP, coming to you with issues that affect our community, where we discuss how we will switch this world around and make everything better, how we will try to start bringing our children up in the right way, so that we actually have fulfilled, happy, confident, positive individuals that are contributing to the world positively. This is your SP, your girl SP. Unfortunately, I've been talking for so long, and I thank you all for joining us today. And like I said, we bring you these issues every Monday at 2 o'clock. Discuss with you. You can always join us on Facebook, on YouTube, listen to us on TuneIn, follow us on Twitter, on Instagram. We carry on discussion, even though when the discussion is off the air, we carry on the discussion by your messages and so on and so forth, by your phone calls and so on and so forth, and we bring some of those discussions that are done offline on for. And if there's anything you want me to talk about, you, my audience, if there's anything you want me to talk about, you want me to look into, then do message us as well, and we take it from there. And as we have really used your time today, we have used your time today, really used your time. I thank you for joining us. Thank you for watching, and I appreciate your tuning in. And just keep thinking, keep talking, keep discussing among yourselves, because like I said, it might be you who will be the changing light for somebody's life. Keep discussing. And the topic was teaching your children life skills from very early age. Teaching your children life skills from very early age. Thank you for joining us, and we will come to you next week with a very hot, important, nice topic again, where we all listen and learn from each other. And do call in, yes, do call in. I wait for your calls. I enjoy your calls when you call in, and do also text, do messages. And those of you who messaged today, I appreciate your comment and so on and so forth. I'm going to go back and look through it, and I thank you all. And if I haven't mentioned your name, if I haven't said thank you today, forgive me, but I thank you all for joining us today. But I don't want to take any more of your time, but I'm going to dance, because remember, dancing you out. Happy dance. Yeah, happy dance, because I want everybody to be happy. Dance, dance you out nicely, happily, and then we'll see you next week with another topic, in our community.
Our Father, who art in heaven,
Always remember to be happy.
hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us all our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Oh Lord my God, lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever and ever. Amen. Amen. Hear my cry, O Lord, attend unto
Oh
my
boy, me and my
prayer.
languages. I want to learn
From the end of
languages.
the earth will I cry unto thee.
Korean. Yes. Korean.
When my heart is
Chinese.
overwhelmed,
Yeah.
lead me to the rock that is higher.